about Alexis and Julius in this last episode. As soon as I saw their segments, I had to run and make a video because I just have so many thoughts. Alexis and Julius were laying in bed. They woke up together and Alexis was like, okay, well, what's the plans for the day? And Julius said, well, I need to go to the recording studio and film a few songs. And she's like, all right. So while he's in the kitchen getting ready to leave, she starts asking him, well, look, I just want to know, when do you plan on getting a job? Because I have a lot of bills. They're piling up. They showed a whiteboard with all her bills, then it really broke it down. She's got a lot of bills. She has rent, she has a car payment, she has to pay back her student loans, and it looked like from how she wrote some things down that it sounded like she's putting some of these expenses on credit cards because she has bills for things like the furniture. I'm very curious what their conversations were like when Julius was in prison and what he was telling her, what his plans were when he got out. Like, I wonder if he was giving her, like, all this prison talk, like, baby, I'm going to get a job and take care of you. Or I wonder if he told her, hey, I just want to focus on this rap music and let it take off. Because that's exactly what he told Alexis when she asked about a job. I guess he has some kind of delivery job he's been doing on the side, but he's like, look, I'm not going to be doing that forever. And he just acted disgusted talking about this delivery job. But dude, you're a felon. You've been locked up since you were a teenager. You probably have minimal, well, we know he has minimal job history because he admitted that he worked at a Taco Bell when he was 13 and that was his last job. And I didn't even know Taco Bell hired that young. So you have to start from the ground and work your way up with minimal job experience, and he's just getting out of prison. And I would just go and work at a warehouse, try to get his CDL, or maybe try to go learn a trade. That would be perfect for Julius. But he said he doesn't want to worry about working a 9 to 5. He just wants to focus on his rap career and put all the money that he does have into that. This man really thinks he's gonna have a few diamond singles and make it as a millionaire as a rapper. And I'm just like, bless his little heart. Maybe he's onto something revolutionary with his raps instead of trying to understand the lyrics like you can with a lot of other rappers. Maybe he's trying to get people to focus on the raw emotion of trying to decipher what the hell he's saying when he raps, because I cannot understand anything. And I just think him comparing himself to possibly being the next Jay-Z, I'm like, that is ambitious to say the least. Jay-Z is a global icon. He's a lyrical genius. And Julius, he makes sounds that might be words if you squint your ears hard enough. Maybe, just maybe, he needs to just listen to one Jay-Z album, just one, for research, you know, to hear what actual rapping sounds like, and then maybe he might finally be able to rap something coherent. But I think Julius is just aiming for the stars, I guess. Maybe he needs to start with something like a little closer to earth. Like, maybe focus on trying to fold your clothes and put them away as soon as they come out the dryer. That sounds like a more realistic goal for Julius here. I bet Alexis is probably sitting there bumping his music every day to and from work, and he's probably telling her, baby, this song is about you, even though it's probably about one of his other hoes. I truly believe 100% that Julius did the show as a way to push his music. And I fear that Julius is going to get things misconstrued. I think that he has been releasing music, and I think he's probably convincing himself and convincing Alexis, oh, my music is taking off because I'm starting to get all these views on my music. But I think a lot of it is just probably people who are curious and click on it, and I guarantee 98% of the people are probably curious people from the show that click on it one time, but they don't download it or do anything beyond that. But yeah, I just fear he's gonna think that all these viewers are people who are supporting his music, when in reality it's just people who are curious. And that's what it just seems like to me, because I was looking at his comments of his clips that he posted his music, and I've seen a few people who are like, all right, good job, this is a banger. But at least 97, 98% of the comments where people were like, what the hell is this? And people were saying we need more electricians and telling him that he needs to hang it up. Alexis revealed that she works all the time, and when she's not working, Julius is barely home. He's always hanging out with his homies and always at the studio. And that just tells me he does not give a damn about that girl. Because if my man works all the time, I'm going to at least try to figure out something to where I can at least see them on one of their days off. But it seems like he's avoiding Alexis like the plague. And I just think it's because he's just using her for a roof over his head and using her for the show. I think the real test of time is if he's going to still be around Alexis and dating her once he's off probation or parole and no longer has to have like a home address, and once he's no longer on the show. I think that's going to be the real test of the relationship, because I've seen plenty of people in the past who were using their partners and they put on a good mask until their season ended and then they went their separate ways. So Alexis let Julius go to the studio with his homies, and Alexis was just sitting there twirling her thumbs, going crazy, super bored, so she decided to call one of her homegirls, and her homegirl was like, are you still nauseous? And she's like, yeah, I've been super nauseous, I've been having trouble eating. And she's like, well, do you think you're pregnant? And she's like, it could be a possibility. And Alexis admits that Julius has been raw dogging it the whole time since he's been out of prison. And this dude swears up and down his pullout game strong. But when her friend came over, she came over with a pregnancy test, and Alexis took it, and it was positive. So obviously, your pullout song is not that good. And I guess Ashley did an interview, and she claimed that Julius kept talking about wanting to have a baby with her as soon as he got out, and he ended up doing that with Alexis instead. So I definitely think he had this plan, but I don't think so much that he's doing this because he wants to be a father. I wouldn't be shocked if he's just trying to have a baby just to get another season out of it, for real. I just don't understand how Alexis let this unemployed man raw dog her and get her pregnant when he doesn't even have a job. And most people who are trying to become rappers, they at least have some kind of job to at least fund their dreams, and they see rapping as a hobby until they get to that point where they can make it a full-time career. But Julius, he's just trying to run. He's not trying to crawl or walk before he runs. At first I was like, okay, he's not working. Maybe she's going to be the worker and he can be the stay-at-home dad. You know, some families do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Being a stay-at-home parent is one of the hardest jobs in the world. But I highly doubt Julius is going to be a stay-at-home dad. I feel like he's going to either encourage her to stay home with the baby, or he's going to like try to make her pay to put the baby in daycare, because I just don't see him as staying home all day, every single day with the baby. Maybe having a child will make him grow up a lot. I know I matured and grew up so much after I had my first kid, but I just feel like if he was really taking this seriously, then he would be doing things to get a job and do what he can to take care of his family. But it's like he has no problem letting Alexis work her ass off all day while he just sits at home on the couch like a little princess on TikTok. Alexis is probably putting all her money towards the bills while he's probably wasting all his money on weed and Patron. But Alexis ends up telling her friend that she doesn't have a good feeling about where Julius is because she just found out he was talking to another female. So she decided to put a tracker in her car and she wants to go see what is up with Julius. So she has her friend pull up, and Julius is getting out of her car, which he's probably driving around telling his homies and these girls it's his car. And he's got a girl in the front seat. And he had his homie in the back with another girl. The way they're riding around, it made it look like they're all coupled up. And Alexis walks up and she's like, who are these two girls? And I'd be like, oh, hell no. Like, that's 2 for 2. Both times he told Alexis he was going out with his homies, he was out with women. Like, yes, he has one of his homies with him here, but he also has 2 girls he didn't tell her about. And then he had the Ashley incident when he claimed he was hanging out with his family, or when he was hanging out with his boys too, when he wasn't. So if I was Alexis, I would not be able to trust Julius as far as I could throw him at this point, and I would be questioning every single thing he does. They have all these issues going on. She can't even trust the man, and now she's having his baby. This is a freaking walking train wreck right here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.